Now, usually this is the time of year where teams start to separate themselves from the pack. However, we got an unusual circumstance. In week 5, we got buku games against undefeated squads. I'm talking tons of excitement on the field and all the excitement off of it. 13 on your sideline starts right now.
On Your Sidelines, sponsored by Rant Insurance Group.
That's what I'm talking about. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to 13 on Your Sidelines. I'm Jamal Spencer.
And I'm Mark Skoll Jr. It's a big night. We have not one, not two, but 5 games featuring undefeated teams squaring off against each other.
But first things first, you might have noticed it's kind of loud in here.
It is.
But we like it loud, though.
Yes.
Let's introduce our guests, the cheerleaders from Tri-County High School. And the cheerleaders from North Point Christian High School.
Since Zeeland High School split into 2 separate schools with 2 separate football teams in 2005, Zeeland East and Zeeland West have met 22 times.
But tonight was only the 5th time the Ducks and Chicks have squared off with both teams sporting undefeated records. And all of tonight's undefeated matchups are big, but a rivalry game like the Bird Bowl makes this one even more meaningful. The Ducks came out flying on their first possession. Senior quarterback Trenton Bolhouse fakes the handoff, runs this one in himself. Talk about a quack attack. The flock loving that. I'm not writing these puns, but I'm going to read them. Bolhouse isn't the only one with legs, folks. Running back Rolando Roblin powering through the Chicks defense. That makes it 14-0 Ducks. Now, Zeeland East was in a hole early in this game, but they got a few tricks up their sleeve. You always got to break them out in a rivalry game. One of those tricks being senior quarterback Austin Kerr goes with the quarterback draw. Deeks past the defender, picks up the first down. Now things starting to click for the Chicks. 2 plays later, Kerr with the handoff. Tyler Loeb on the 16. He'll weave his way through traffic, shakes another defender. He's in for 6. East would go on for the 2-point conversion. Maybe stopped, leaving it at 14-6. Just over a minute to go in the first half. West looking to extend their lead. Roblin wants to be the man to put those numbers on the board, taking this one all the way from their own 40 down to the Chicks 19. First half would end 22-6. Ducks with the lead. Moving on to the second half now. West trying to finish what they started. Bolhouse finds junior Trey Sluhak in the end zone. Austin Kerr just, trying to spark something. Got to respect the fight there with East on 4th down, but the Ducks defense is a brick wall. They stop him in his tracks. Late in the 4th quarter, Sluhak would take this one to the house. 70 yards score. West would go on to defeat East 36-13. Now, after the game, we caught up with Ducks head coach John Shillito. Let's talk about how they plan to move forward now that they are 5-0.
We're a one day at a time program. We'll show up on Monday and prepare for the next week and just go from there.
John's old school coach, man of few words, but you got to respect the effort for both these teams. But the Ducks look like a different breed.
Ducks are 5-0. It's the first time since 2014-2015 that the Ducks have started this season 5-0 in 2 consecutive years. Both of those years, they went to Ford Field, so maybe the Ducks are cooking up something special. But John Shillito, gotta like what the Ducks are cooking up this season, looking pretty good.
No doubt.
Our second battle of undefeated teams takes us to the OK Whites.
Byron Center traveled to Forest Hill Central. Nate Belt was there, and the Bulldogs and Rangers faced off, Nate.
Yeah, guys, take a look at the standings here. Coming into tonight, there were actually 3 undefeated teams in the OK White. We'll just go ahead and spoil it for you. East Grand Rapids did end up beating Northview, so whoever wins this one going to be keeping pace with the Pioneers. Last year, this game was decided. It decided the OK White title, and FHC won by only 8 points. No score in this one in the 3rd quarter. Ranger quarterback Mason McDonald finds Brandon Cargill, and he bounces off the defender. Stay on his feet for the extra yards. Few plays later, Forest Hill Central's J.T. Hartman going to take the inside screen. Nice. Follow your blockers all the way into the end zone for the first score of the game. It is 7-0 Rangers. Here come the Bulldogs now. Landon Tungate, he's going to make some Johnny Manziel plays tonight. Look at this. Scrambling, improvising, tossing it up, and somehow Isaac Lee is wide open, and he's going to go untouched for the score, tie it at 7. We head to the fourth now, and it's Hartman again for the Rangers. This time on the ground, takes the toss, weaves in and out of the defenders, and he is going to go untouched all the way. Racing to the pylon, he finds the end zone. Rangers back on top 14-7 now. Byron center going to waste no time bouncing right back. A huge kickoff return here from Carter Ahern. He's going to go all the way to midfield. Bulldogs setting up a nice drive here to try and tie it, facing a fourth down. This could be the game, but Lungate finds Lee in stride. Perfect throw to convert. They save themselves there. A few plays later, and Blake Atto is going to punch it in. Byron center has cut it to a 1-point lead. There's only 15 seconds left in the game. They're going to go for two, and it is the right call. Lungate again improvising, finds Atto for the grab in the corner. He was interfered with and still made that catch. Byron center's defense holds on for the last 15 seconds. The Bulldogs win a thriller 15-14.
Don't look at that score. If we learn one thing about Byron Center, they're going to fight. Doesn't matter who they're playing, who they're going up against. But that quarterback, Lungate, if you got a chance to get him on the ground, you have to, because he'll make you look foolish.
That was an unbelievable throw that Nate just showed earlier. The fact that there was 3 guys in his grill and he was still able to complete that pass. But wow, huge win for the Bulldogs, taking down a tough Forest Hill Central team that went to the state championship last year. Game 3 takes us to the OK Blue, where Spring Lake and West Catholic are both undefeated in a 3-way tie for first place with Allendale.
Now, the new-look Lakers come into this one hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak against the fired-up Falcons. 7-0 West in the first. Spring Lake with the rock. Reed Grimmer back to pass. He's got Bryce Collins wide open down the far sideline. 31-yard score, but dirty laundry on the field. That score is wiped out by the penalty, and the Lakers would punt. Ensuing Falcons possession, Alec Wickstrom going up top to a wide-open Cole Bauer. Wide open. 41-yard pitch and catch makes it 14-0 West Catholic. Second quarter, Spring Lake driving in the red zone. Sam Schaefer takes the handoff, plows down to the 1-yard line. Grimmer scored on the next play to get the Lakers on the board. West Catholic comes back in a flash. Mike Murphy scores from a few yards out. 2-point conversion's no good. 20-7 West. That's when the defense takes over. Next Lakers drive. Grimmer with the play-action rollout, looking downfield, throws it into double coverage. Chaz Vita is there for the interception. That wouldn't lead to points for the green and white, but they didn't care. Once Spring Lake got the ball back, West Catholic took it away again. This time Murphy with the strip and recover in one motion. Falcons blank the Lakers in the second half. They win 33-7. Now, these teams both came in with big records like we talked about, but that Falcons defense proven to be the difference tonight. This team hits hard. They don't take no for an answer.
Yeah, West Catholic, again, the state champs, looking dominant as usual. This was, I think, their closest game this season, but it was still a dominant effort. So you got to like what the West Catholic Falcons are looking like, 5-0 to start the year. And, man, I don't know if anyone's stopping them.
Nope, Spring Lake was close, but not close enough against a team like West Catholic. Well, we have 2 games left, pitting undefeated teams against each other, and they're both in the West Michigan Conference.
And we start in the Rivers Division, where North Muskegon made a trip up to Oceana County to take on a longtime rival in the Hart Pirates. The Pirates come into this one looking for their first victory against the Norsemen since 2011. First quarter, the Norsemen are driving when James Young goes up top and finds Alec Newville, who makes a tough catch in the end zone for a 24-yard score and a 7-0 lead. Hart was not backing down in their next drive, facing 4th and 7. Connor Edwards goes deep, finds Amon Hertzler, who makes a couple of men miss, going in for a 30-yard tutty to make it 17-6. The Norse offense goes back to the air. Young finds TJ Bayard for a big gain. Few plays later, Tristan Thomas goes over right tackle and bowls his way in for a 9-yard touchdown. North Muskegon would get the ball back late in the half. Young decides to take off, and he heads to the sideline, and he gets by the defender, but just steps out of bounds just a little bit. Then in the final 2 minutes, Thomas shows off. He cuts back to the left, makes a man miss for a 20-yard run. He goes inside the 10. Young would finish the drive with a 1-yard score as the Norsemen go on to win 34-14. Moving to the West Michigan Conference Lakes Division, undefeated Whitehall made the trip up to Manistee to take on the undefeated Mariners, but it's the Vikes who stay undefeated with a 35-0 shutout. Whitehall will return home next week to take on Oak Ridge.
And we're taking it to the OK Red after the break.
Up next, find out if Hudsonville could remain undefeated as they travel to Granville to take on the Bulldogs.
And Reefs Puffer was looking for their first win against Muskegon in quite some time as they host the Big Reds.
This is Anthony Bradford from Muskegon, Michigan, and you're watching 13 on Your Sideline. Go Big Reds.